Hello, my name is Anthony O'Connor, and this is my final presentation for World Politics class PS 130, and my presentation is on the assassination of Shinzo Abe. Now, Shinzo Abe, a little background, was Japan's longest standing prime minister. He served from 2006 to 2007, and then again from 2012 to 2020. He was shot July 8th, 2022, giving a public rally for an upcoming election in Japan. And the suspect for this assassination is a man named Tetsuya Yamagami, who has been detained by the police. And this assassination of Shinzo Abe shocked Japan and others around the world, as crime especially involving guns in Japan, are just very rare, very unheard of. So, we are going to put this international event right through the levels of analysis so we can identify the actors in this event. Some easy actors to identify are the members involved at an individual level, and this would be Japan's former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, as well as the suspect Tetsuya Yamagami. Those are both non-state actors at an individual level. Another actor in this event is Japan's gun laws, standing as a country actor for this international event. So, some background again. Japan has very tightly regulated gun laws, so it was very shocking that this assassination took place. Things like this just don't happen in Japan. Unlike America, we have shootings very often. It's a problem, but in Japan, they have their gun laws pretty tight. So in 2001, there were only 10 shooting accidents in Japan, or incidents in Japan. 8 of them were involving gangsters, like the Yakuza as well as others. And in the police data in Japan, 1 person was killed and only 4 wounded in 2001. So only 1 person killed. Very, very tightly regulated laws. So Abe's assassination was the very first of a sitting or former Japanese premier since the 1930s. Such a long time ago. This just does not happen, so that's why it shocked people. This just does not happen. Talking about Japan's gun laws, Japan has one of the lowest gun violence rates in the world. And they do this because they utilize soft power to keep gun-related crimes down. They do this through strict law strategies and as well as Japanese culture in general. So gun violence in Japan is very, very low, as well as just crime, because of these soft power strategies. Some of these strategies include no one being able to purchase a handgun or rifle in Japan, except for the police and military. Now, there are hunters as well as target shooters in Japan, and they may possess shotguns and air guns, but only under circumscribed conditions. No one can just go buy this shotgun or air gun. It must be a circumscribed condition to be able to purchase one. Now, when someone does purchase a gun in Japan, the police check the ammo inventory of this person who owns the gun pretty regularly, just to ensure that no amount of ammo is going unnoticed or under the radar. They actually do check the ammo inventory. And the gun owners have to go through multiple safety courses and tests required for owning the weapon, so that they may know how it works, how to use it safely, and just courses to ensure that this person is okay to own a gun. So no one can just walk in, buy a gun like we can in America. I almost was a gun owner at 14. That's just very much not the case in Japan, but this is how they've kept their gun rate down just so incredibly low through the years. Just their violence has been at an all-time pretty much low, and that's because of the soft power strategies that they utilize. All right, now looking at the suspect Tetsuya Yamagami is the one involved in the assassination. Now, he served in the Maritime Self-Defense Force in Japan from 2002 to 2005. This does give him a familiarity with guns, and he had admitted to the police that he looked up how to make guns on the internet and bought materials to craft the weapon. And you can see the homemade gun in these pictures here, especially the bottom right photo. You can see the duct tape and other materials that he had used, and he had, the familiarity with the guns to know how they work. But people were very surprised, and they didn't think his time in the Maritime Self-Defense Force actually gave him the knowledge to craft a weapon, because no one really has done this before. So Tetsuya Yamagami is said to have denied political motives for the shooting, but said he initially planned to attack a leader of a religious group. And this is because his mother had lost a very large sum of money she had actually donated to this group, and Shinzo Abe had publicly promoted the religious group in the past. Although he was not personally affiliated with the group, he had been seen in public promoting them. So this does give Tetsuya Yamagami the motive. But we are going to analyze this conflict, and again, turning to the levels of analysis. So for this conflict, it is at an individual level with deviations from rationality. Now this conflict is not terrorism or war in any way, but it is still a conflict, an assassination, a crime committed, a conflict. And Tetsuya Yamagami claimed he originally tried to target the leader of the religious group, as stated, but shot Shinzo Abe instead, and this is why we are claiming it as deviations from rationality. It doesn't quite make sense. I mean, Shinzo Abe was seen promoting this group, so that does give the reasoning per se, although Tetsuya denies political motive. But just personally, deviations from rationality can be applied to assassinating, murdering someone in general. But for this conflict, this is the level of analysis we have gone with. So, some background on Shinzo Abe himself. He was the longest running prime minister for Japan, and he focused quite a lot on foreign relations. He was very well received in foreign relations. He had met with former President Obama as well as former President Trump on occasions, and he was well liked, well received by those. Economics was not his strong suit, but Shinzo Abe had created a form of economics he had called Abenomics, which he created as a plan to help Japan's recovery after a tsunami in 2011 that severely affected their economy. So by putting Abenomics into action, Shinzo Abe took a more capitalist perspective to try to increase the wealth and inflation in Japan. He supported a bank policy to keep very rock bottom interest rates to try to hype up this economic growth. And it was just, Japan is a socialist country, but because of Abenomics, it was very much about raising the overall wealth of the country, which is very capitalist. So, what will change now that Shinzo Abe has passed away? So now that he's gone, there has been talk about reevaluating the bank and yen policies he had put into place through Abenomics. Japan could take a more aggressive capitalist perspective, or change to a socialist one, as they are a socialist country, but things are looking like they're going to change. Banks are very much looking at changing their policies now that Abe is gone. And this is because Japan desperately wants to maximize their economic growth. And by doing this, now that Abe is gone and Abenomics may die out or change, this is not only going to change Japan's economy, but it'll also affect the economies that work with Japan and Japan's allies and trading partners. So, analyzing this as an international economic event, it is looking like the economy will change in the quite near future, just from perspectives changing and Abenomics dying out. Thank you for listening to my presentation. This is my works cited. I learned a lot in this class, and wish you luck in the future. Thank you.